What if you could transform a simple script in Notion into AI-generated images, ready to compose your video without opening an editor? In this video, you'll see a real workflow that automates the creation of B-roll with AI. It runs on its own, and it can run for you too. We're going to show how this workflow works, step by step, using Notion, OpenAI, and the Nano Banana engine. Now I will let Manu explain it.
Okay, so here is how this workflow works. I will show you how I built it, how each node is working, and how it's connected to Notion. So I will try to be as clear as possible. So we have on my screen the workflow on an A10 in my browser and a Notion project, a database that is simple and that is controlling and communicated with that workflow. So the integration of Notion in an A10 is very powerful. You have the Notion trigger node that can listen to events that are happening in a Notion project. So for that, you need to connect, of course, your Notion page to an A10 with credentials. I will not cover that part. You will find the documentation on internet. It's easy. And what is interesting, let me show you quickly, is when you have a page and you want to expose it to an A10, once the connection is set up, you have here connection, and you can choose add connection, and here you have a list of the connection. And me, I have set up an A10, so now I can connect very easily in one click, clicking here, connecting to an A10. So by doing this, we are making Notion page, Notion database, for example, or a page available to an A10. And we can interact with that database, with that page inside of our project, inside of our N8N workflow. So this workflow starts with a Notion trigger. And Notion triggers, you can set when it runs, every minute, every hour, and what is the event that you are listening to. There are two events, is page updated in database or page added to database. Only two events, so you can just listen to that in N8N, and it's enough. Honestly, it's enough because every object in Notion is considered as a page, even if it's just an entry into a database, a table, it's considered as a page. So if we add an element here, it will trigger this workflow. If we modify it, it will trigger this workflow because this workflow will listen to update in database event. Okay, so I want to explain you before going through each node, give you an overall overview of this workflow, how it works. The idea, the goal of this workflow, as you understood, is to generate AI images to use as B-rolls in your video production. So it's just an inspiration workflow. It's a piece of a larger puzzle that I will build over the week and share my progress with you. So this is the first step of this pipe, video production pipe. And it's the one I'm using personally to produce my video. I have other pipes that I'm using that are in your video engine, but this is the one I'm using for the B-rolls. So the idea is that it's generate a plan for your B-rolls based on the script. So it starts like that. You need to create a new project here, and here you can pass the script. So let me do that real quick. Copy paste here. So I copy paste one script that I have written, simple. And so I wrote it manually, and then I quickly edited with ChatGPT. I made a custom GPT for that. Maybe I can show you in another video. And this custom GPT is able to interact with Notion. So I can write my script directly in Notion, and this custom GPT with a tool can push videos in this database. So that's very powerful, and can edit them or read the history, so it can get inspired from my previous content to produce new scripts or help me to write scripts. So So it's very, very good. But maybe if you're curious about that, I can show it in another video. Then you can choose the amount of ID you want. Okay, I will put that like that. The amount of ID you want to generate. So based on that script, I will want, let's say, yes, 3 ID is good, and the amount of variance you want per ID. I implemented that because often I'm not satisfied with one shot, and if I ask the AI to make 2 propositions, there are great chances that I'm way more happy with the result. Then here we have other fields, one that will be injected when the AI will do the B-roll plan. So list the B-rolls it wants to add to that script. So for example, the field, so AI news, technology, digital, futuristic, it can give a bit of context. You can put everything you want here. And the prompt B-roll image, here it's the style of the picture. So this will be added to every picture that we will generate with that system. Okay, I hope it's clear so far. And that's it for that step. So then we have each column that will control the process. So the generate plan, when I will drag and drop the video, I will show you after, when I will drag and drop the video in that column, it will trigger the workflow one first time. When the workflow is done generating the plan, it will move the card to the validate plan, so I can proofread the plan that the AI has written, okay? And when I'm satisfied with the plan, I just need to drag and drop the card again in generate image, and it will trigger the workflow again, and this time to generate the pictures, and the workflow will move the card to done when it's done. And for example, this is an example of the output. So I asked for a bunch of B-rolls and it generated, I think, 2 B-rolls with 2 variations for this example that I generated before. Okay, so when we connect that to the workflow, we get that. So when I move the card here to generate plan, the workflow will be triggered and go to the first branch. We are using a switch here, a switch that is listening to the status. The status is the column we have here. So when we move the card here, I will do it now, move here. So I will go step by step with you.
But before Manu dives deeper into the workflow, let me show you how you can save even more time by building your own automated content machine, just like this one, using N8N and AI. At Your Video Engine, we build custom automation systems for creators, agencies, and companies that want to scale content without scaling their team. In just 3 weeks, we'll build you a complete workflow that goes from idea to script to AI video to post, with your face, your voice, and your brand. Or, if you don't want to touch anything, we'll run the entire process for you. Check the link in the description to see how it works and book your spot. Now, let's go back to Manu.
Like that. So now I run the workflow in debug mode, so we can inspect what's happening. We see that we have the status generate plan. Here we have the script that I have passed and the number of IDs we want. The prompt B-roll image, the prompt B-roll plan, the amount of variance, and the name, which is by default. Okay. So then if we go to the switch check the status. If it's equal to generate plan, it will go to branch 1. If it's equal to generate image, to branch 2. And in the future, I will make this workflow evolve, and I will have more steps in that switch, so I can have more tasks. For example, generate the title, publish on the social media, generate the video with HeyGene, etc., etc., do the automated editing. That's the direction we are taking. Week after week, I will publish my progress on that workflow. Okay, so in our case right now, we are going to the branch here, generate B-roll plan. So we are going here. So let's look what's inside. As the user prompt, in the user prompt, I have dragged and dropped the script. If you know a bit N8N, that's easy. If you don't know, I will show quickly like that. I just do this, and then we have the script available in the prompt user, and I have added a system prompt in which I have written here some indication about the mission, how to do how to craft the B-roll plan. So really the goal of this AI here, so we are calling OpenAI, the goal of this AI is to analyze the script and to produce a plan, so a list of illustration, of suggestion of illustration to illustrate that video. Okay, and here I pass as parameter here dynamically the amount of IDs we want, so I'm sure it will suggest, if I ask for 3 IDs, 3 prompt. Okay, so let's run it. I should have run it while I was explaining because it's connected to, I think, GPT-5 mini, and GPT-5 is quite slow compared to GPT-4, but it's also way more smart, so I like to use it. But honestly, I didn't benchmark for this specific use case what is the most appropriate model. I chose this one because I know it's good, but maybe 4 or even 3.5 is enough for this task. I don't know. And here is what we get. We get the text output, and we see here that he's suggesting some text. We will not read it here. We'll continue and we'll read it in Notion after. So I continue the workflow, and we have the other step, which is move to validate plan, run it, and we see, boom, the card has moved directly in Notion. And that's very powerful. I really think that Notion is an amazing tool when it comes to automation and to make collaborate. Notion and an A10 is really, really opening a lot of doors. And you can make some very complex pipes with labels, etc. I let you imagine. Let's take a look at this. So we have our script that we had, and now we have in the field B-roll plans 3 suggestions. I will read the first one. Medium developer dropping thick manual beside laptop showing AI chat, modern home office, evening frontal warm backlight, relieved scattered papers. Okay, why not? Not too bad. I have in the prompt here put some quite precise instruction, but I did not optimize this so much. But you can see that I ask for less than 30 words. I have the shot type, the subject, action settings, etc. It's already quite good, but I think you can really improve it and adapt it to your use case. And every creator has a different mood, different style. So it's in this prompt that you can craft what you want. For example, here I talk about lightning, mood, and the output format is crafted here. I want plain text only, no titles, no numbering, no quotes, 1 prompt per line, each starting with a little, I don't know, a petit trait in French, I don't know in English. Insert 1 blank line between each prompt and maximum 20 words per prompt. Okay, here is an inconsistency. I asked 30 here and I fixed that live, 30 words here. Okay, and we see that in Notion here, it's exactly what we have. And for me, it's important to have this line here because it's more readable, and we will use it to split it later in our workflow. We could store some JSON data, or I don't know, make something more complex to store this because it's a list. But doing that, I think it's quite easy. The AI is very good at following this kind of indication. I want every time a new line, an empty line. So it's quite safe to use that to break this after in the workflow when we want to split that again in the second part. Okay, so let's move to the second part. So this time it will be the workflow that will generate the image. So this part was to generate the plan, and this one will be to generate the images. Okay, so to trigger it, it's the same. If I'm satisfied with the plan here, I just have to move it to generate image and to run the workflow again. Okay, and we see that this time the workflow goes to that branch. That's normal because the status is equal to generate image. Okay, that's, I think, is clear for everyone, I hope. If it's not, just ask in the comment. I will be happy to give more explanation. So the first thing we need to do is to split, because what we receive is one text with all the plan, and we need to split it. So for this, I wrote this little formula. More precisely, I asked ChatGPT to write this little formula. It's not so complex, but so it will, let me execute it. So this will split. I do like that. This will split the B-roll plans in a list of plans, and you see it removes also the little petit trait at the beginning, and we have like 3 clean prompts that we can use. Then we need to split them out because it's one object here, and we need to split them to have 3 objects so we can iterate through them. We will see this later when we will be using Nano Banana to generate the picture. Then we need to prepare the prompt. So to do that, preparing the prompt is to do a concatenation with the prompt that we have here that we received and the style prompt. The style prompt, remember, is this part, the B-roll prompt image that is added to every prompt. So we need to do that here. And then we have the full prompt that contains what we want to show and how we want to show. Okay, this is the second part of the prompt. And we do that. Count. What is count? Is because we want to be able to have several variations for each prompt. So for example, for that prompt, I want the AI to generate 2 pictures, not only one. And to do this, maybe there are other ways to do that with an A10, I don't know, but it's a little hack I like to use. I made this that takes the number that we get from the Notion, so the variance here, 2, and it creates an array, so a list of elements with the length of that number. So if we have 2 variants, it will create, here you see an array, count 1, 2. So if I put 3 here, it would be 1, 2, 3. So this allows me later in the workflow to loop a certain amount of time. Maybe there is a cleanest way. Please let me know in the comments if I miss something. I love to learn new things, but this is the way I do usually. So then I need to split out again on the count. So now I have 6 elements. So if I look at that, maybe I can look like that. I have 2 times medium developer dropping, 2 times tight finger pasting doc URL, 2 times widescreen. So every time 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Exactly what we want. So we have 6 items. Here I have a little limit that I let because when I develop my workflows, I don't want to spend too many credits. So usually I limit to 1, but I deactivate it when I'm in production. But I usually let that. And then we are calling Nano Banana. So Nano Banana, I don't think there is no node right now in 2025 in an A10 to generate picture with Nano Banana. So we can use the HTTP node. So you can call here, set this node to post to call Google API, set up the credential here. You need to put generic credential, header hot account. Here you put Google API key and you put the API key you get in your Google Studio. I will put the link maybe in the description about where to find that API key, but this is very simple to find. You need to put some header, content type application JSON. And here is where the interesting part is happening, is where you pass the prompt. And here we pass the prompt that we have generated in the previous step. Okay, so let's run Nano Banana. And now it will be a bit long because it will generate 6 images. So I will continue to explain the workflow. This returns the pictures in the request, and then we need to use it as a binary file in our workflow. So this is why we have this code node here. I made a little, once again, I asked ChatGPT to do it, that will convert the result and convert it in a binary file that we can use in the workflow. Okay, let's continue. Then we want to, when we are manipulating a lot of data in an A10, that's an interesting use case, like pictures, like 6 pictures of 2 megabytes. It's hard to do it in the editor. So when we are running the workflow step by step, like I'm doing now, often we are going through that problem running workflow. Please execute the the whole workflow again, so it's hard to demonstrate. So I will explain the rest and then we will run the workflow once for good. So this step converts the image to a file. Then we need to name the image. So for that, I take the milliseconds of the moment and I add the item index. So this generates a unique name like this. And I will use that name to upload to S3. S3 is a storage from AWS. It's very powerful and the best way to upload images on internet. So to make that work, you need to have an S3 configured account. You connect it to N8N, and here you put the bucket name and here the file name. And then you execute that. Then you go to set URL. Here you can generate the URL. We will need that for the later step to upload to Notion. So here I recreate the URL of that image. So I have a static base and I add the name that I generated 2 steps before. And then I will run this node, the Notion node again, to append all the images to my page. Okay, so for that you put Notion node, resource block, append after. Here you use the ID that you received in the trigger. You choose image and you just put the URL. And that will be done 6 times in our case, because in our context we want 3 IDs with 2 variations each. And this will call the last node move to down, and you can see it's an improvement they made in the UI. You have a little 1 here because I have checked in the setting here execute once. This means that no matter how many items I have in my workflow at that stage, so here 6, I only want to do that workflow 1. And that's very important when you are manipulating large sets of data. It's very important to know that this is a possibility. In my case, with a friend, we've made a workflow where we were handling email, and at the end of the workflow, we wanted to send him a confirmation email, and the workflow was manipulate more than 1,000 email, and we forgot to do that at the end, so he received more than 1,000 confirmation by email. So it was really a mess. So if you are working with an N8N, be mindful of what you are doing and make sure that you are activating this option when it's necessary. Okay, so I will run the full workflow again and we see how it goes. I hope it will not crash. I will reload. So that's also a good things to do, is when you have those kind of problems, you save and you reload. And let's see. So we have our project in generate image, our card in generate image here, and let's run the workflow. So it goes here directly. It's calling Nano Banana. With Thais, we are really in love with that name. We think it's genius. Who had the idea to name that product Nano Banana? Probably if we search, we find. Okay, let me move that here so we can see. We'll move those two here and here so we have a clear view. So here it's happening all the image. And boom, it moved. Workflow executed successfully. It moved here. So let's zoom into that. Let's open this. Let's do like that. I will put a bit more space like this so we can enjoy the view. And we have our picture. So this is the first with 2 variations. What was it? A medium developer dropping thick manual besides laptop showing AI chat. So thick manuals, but you see it's very different, right? And maybe you have a preference. Me, I think I like this one. Maybe the bird, I don't know. I don't know, it's peaceful and I like the nose. And you see the consistency in the style also. It's because in the prompt here, I asked for a beautiful, super realistic image in 3D, Pixar style. This is because of Pixar style. And I like warm colors with a touch of pink and blue. And we see that we have Pixar style, warm color, pink and blue. But this, of course, you can create your own branding with those kind of little details and fine tuning. Then the second prompt, also to variation, it was tight fingers pasting doc URL into browser. Tight fingers pasting dot, okay, not bad. And the last one with, I really like this set. It's quite diverse. And what was the last one? Widescreen workflow linking 11 labs. Okay, so here it has put all the services name, and I think that's not a good idea. Maybe we can improve the prompt in the workflow. So the bureau plan here, maybe here in this part of the system, we can improve so it's not naming the services it's using, because that makes no sense visually, the AI. But why not? Here you see we have 11 labs, GPT, runway. Yeah, why not? Why not? Can be an option, but in my case, I probably have something that is more suggesting, less clear, and I would not try to have the words written, because also you have risk to have typos. Like here we have GPT, we don't know, you see? So yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's what this workflow is doing. You can download it for free with the link in the description. Should be easy to find. I don't know what will be my next step. Maybe publication, maybe improve writing with AI. Maybe I will go for hygiene, generating the clones. This is a very, very fun part. And because now it's the real me talking, it's really me, Manu. But in all my short video, you can check on my channel, it's not really me. I use my AI avatar from hygiene. I think this is really the future of content creation. It's really a very creative process, and it's really removing the stress and the anxiety and the complexity of film making. So I do my clone once, and then I just need to create content very easily by writing the text, and I can do that even when I'm sick or in a bad mood, etc. I don't need to dress and to look good and to put the lights here and here to have the stress of filming like right now. I don't like so much to talk in front of a camera. I'm a bit shy, but with this system, with the AI avatars from hygiene, I really can produce content anytime, and that's amazing for consistency. And this is what we are doing with your video engine. We really think with Thais, my business partner, that this is the future of content creation, and we are helping our clients to set up things, and we create tailored workflow like this one, but of course way more complex with Notion, but with other tools. It could be, the workflow could start with a voice note that is sent on WhatsApp, or it could be connected to a blog. So if you have a WordPress blog, you could have a plugin that is reacting every time you publish new content, and it creates automatically videos from your content. So there is really a lot of possibility. That is why I'm so excited about that field. I think it's very creative, very interesting. Of course, there are pitfalls, but our goal with Thais is really to find a way to bring value with AI and to delegate what is important to delegate to AI, and to keep human what is important to keep as human. I need to work on that pitch, because it's very important that we understand that if we delegate the bad things to AI, we really dissolve the value, and we are flooding the internet with average content, and that's really not what we want to do. We want to use the AI at the good position in our creation process, so we can increase creativity and ease the video creation process. Yes, so it's very interesting journey. I suggest that you follow me if you don't do that already, because I will continue to present my progress and to make this workflow evolve, and I will continue to share my workflow with you, so you can also build your own system.
We believe the future of content creation is a partnership between humans and AI. And this workflow, it's just one step. If you're ready to stop wasting hours on manual tasks and start building your own AI-powered video engine, click the link in the description and let's build your content machine. And hey, we're on a mission to hit 10,000 subscribers, and you can help. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like if this video brought you value. If you like this one, you're gonna love this next video right here. Until next time, have a creative journey.